Hello, my upcoming traders. Welcome to this class. And in this class, we will be learning the basic thing supply and demand zone. This is the basic concept which will allow you to start becoming profitable trader, and this is the best strategy which I personally use because I think trading should be very easy. We have to make trading easy, we have to simplify it, we don't have to make it more complex because this is the most toughest thing, and if we can simplify it, no one can stop us to become a profitable trader. So this strategy is the first foundation step which will help you to start becoming profitable. Now we will not waste our time and we will jump on the screen and we will learn how to mark our supply and demand zones, because this is the first step to become a profitable trader. Let's start our first class. So, as you can see on my screen, we are having a blank chart of gold, which is XAUUSD, because you guys know that I only trade in gold. I don't look out at other any currencies because I don't want to fucking confuse my mind involving in too many currencies. So I only trade one pair, and which is gold. This is the gold chart. Now the best thing, this is a 15-minute time frame, but I always prefer to do my top down analysis, which means that firstly we will start from 4 hour time frame, and from 4 hour we will go till 5 minutes time frame, because I am mostly scalping to intraday trader. I am not a swing trader. I am not a pure scalper. I am a mixture of scalper and intraday trading. And according to me, I think in your initial time when you are just started trading, focus on scalping and focus on intraday. But before scalping, focus on intraday, because according to me, it's more easier than scalping. Otherwise, in scalping, when you are taking the quick decisions, it's might a chance that you will be taking a wrong decision. So now it is a blank chart. First of all, we have to analyze is what trend we are having. As we know, how to identify a trend, we can see it's making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. So we know that this is an uptrend, that market is actually in uptrend. Now our another confluence which we can see, yes, the market is in uptrend. We can see it's making higher low, higher low, and higher low. So this is the confluence that market is going in uptrend. Now the basic thing which we have to always remember, that we never go against the trend, we never trade against the trend. So if we are seeing that it's a buy trend, we will only find buying trade, we will only find an opportunity when there is a buy trade. Now how to identify supply and demand zone, which is the basic question. So personally, I only use two things when I am marking my supply and demand zone. When there is a huge movement in the market, the candle which allowed that huge movement, from its opening to its closing, I will mark my supply and demand zone. I will show you an example. Here you can see that there was a huge bullish movement. That means this was the candle, this was the candle which actually allowed this big bullish movement, and market started going more higher direction. So I will mark the closing of this candle and the opening of this candle, and this will be my demand zone. I think you guys know demand zone is a zone from where where the buyers are sitting, and the supply zone is a zone where the sellers are sitting. And my second demand zone can be here, because I can see that there was a strong bullish, actually nah, this should not be my demand zone. This will be my demand zone, because the market has done multiple movements from here. So yes, And the second thing from where I always find my supply and demand zone, whenever we know there is a bullish movement, there is a high fatty candle, we will be marking the candle before that candle, which actually help to form that big fatty candle. Second confluence, I always see whenever there are three candles in a row like this, these three momentum candles I can see. So I know this can be my another small demand zone, because as soon as market hit on that zone, the buyers were sitting and the market has started going in up direction in uptrend. And now how to identify the supply zone? Same technique. Whenever there is huge selling fatty candle, we have to, for an example, this you can see this was a fatty fucking candle, so we will just mark the closing point and the opening point of the previous candle, which actually allowed this big fatty momentum candle to form. So this will be our supply zone, and if we see here, this will be our second supply zone, because we can see, you can have a look, we had a huge fatty momentum selling candle. That means the candle which helped to form this big fatty candle, we just have to mark its higher high, the closing point, and the lower low, the finishing point, and this is our second supply zone. So I think you guys are clear how to identify supply and demand zone. In the next session, we will learn how I take the trades by using these zones. But before that, we have to make sure that we learn how to identify supply and demand zones, because if our supply and demand zones are not right, we will definitely lose money, we will definitely lose the trades. Now I am just removing the drawings. If this is a blank chart, this is, maybe we have tried on 4 hour, now let's try on 1 hour time frame. Now this is a 1 hour clean time frame, and if I am a new trader, I am trading for the first time in gold, there will be only two things now which I will be seeing on my 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minutes, doesn't matter. Whatever the time frame is, the concept of marking supply and demand zone will be always same. So just we have to see wherever there was a high fatty momentum candles, we can see our first, we have find our first momentum selling candles, this one, right? Then we can see that there was another fatty candle, this one, this was our second buying fatty candle. And we can also see that this was the major movement, this was the major movement in buy direction, the fatty candle. And this, and if we have to look more, we can see that that was also a big fatty movement, fatty candle. Now we have identified our candles wherever there was the huge momentum. Actually we have skipped this one also, that was a huge fatty movement. Now, how to identify, how to mark our supply and demand zones. As you can see that I have already marked these fatty candles. We don't have to do anything, just a simple technique. We can see from here the market has starting going in a up direction. There was a fatty bullish candle. We just have to, just a sec, I'll just now remove this one because I can't see, it's a black on black. Okay, my mistake. So I can see that this candle has allowed, this candle has allowed this big fucking movement. So I will mark its higher high like the closing point and the opening point. From there I will mark my demand zone, and you can see it's a fucking valid demand zone, because as soon as market hit on my this point, the market has gone away. That we will be learning in upcoming classes, but our first target is how to identify these supply and demand zones. Now I will remove this also, because we know that the market has given a huge momentum from here. How we will mark it? We have seen that there was so strong selling pressure. So this was the candle which allow this movement to happen. So we will mark the starting point, sorry, the closing point and the starting point of this candle, and this is our valid supply zone. As you can see, whenever the market has reached this point, market has always given us the rejection. And our another zone can be this one. As we can see, there was a huge bullish movement. So the closing and the opening of this point, you can see that this was the candle which allowed the movement to happen, and this can be our another demand zone. This can be our another demand zone. It doesn't matter whether the demand zone is broad, whether the demand zone is small, because I have seen so many traders that they will mark like this. They will mark their supply and demand zone like this. No, if you are marking like this, as soon as market breaks your zone, because you haven't marked your zone right, you will think that market is breaking the zone, and now market will continue in the next. So for an example, I'll show you on the screen. Just imagine if someone has put seeing that, oh, there was a multiple rejections on this point, and I will mark my demand zone here. And whenever they will see, oh, this movement happened, which is when, if they see, oh, this movement has happened, that means market has already retracing, and now market will go down. But in the next minute, what they are saying, oh my god, come on, it's a brush. Sorry guys. Sometimes I get so confused, seriously. So next time what they are seeing, that market is straight away, it didn't hit this point. From this point it has started going back to the up zone, because it was their mistake that they haven't marked their zones properly. So this is today for this class. This is, we have learned how to mark our supply and demand zones. I will see you guys in my next class, which I will be uploading most probably next week after 7 or 8 days, in which we will be learning how can we take trades from this supply and demand zone, and are these supply and demand zones strong, valid, or not strong, not valid. So I'll see you, my traders, in my next class. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video, because I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to grow this channel, and you guys know, the people who are in my VIP group also, my all the education is absolutely free. So I just need your support to grow my online social media presence. So I will see you in next video.